In an earlier video, I visited the founding father of Singapore, Lee Kuan Yew's ancestral house in China. The house was built by his great-grandfather Li Bebun after he returned to China from Singapore in the 1880s. In the video, I said the house was a Chaoshan-style house. How did I identify it as the Chaoshan-style house? What are the features of Chaoshan-style house? Chaoshan house is usually in this video, through different ancient houses in the Chaoshan area, I'll give you a very comprehensive demonstration on Chaoshan houses. The most unique part of Chaoshan houses is the gables. There are 5 types of them, representing the 5 basic elements in traditional Chinese culture. There are gold, wood, water. See the wave at the top of the gable? Fire. Does this look like burning fire? This one represents earth. This is a variation of water with big waves. Do you remember the shapes of them? You'll be quizzed soon. Chaoshan houses are friendly to people suffering obsessive-compulsive disorder. They're a combination of different quadrangle units, and they're always in orderly rows. Well, in 99% of the cases. In most Chaoshan houses, we can find 2 basic types of quadrangle units. This is the most common quadrangle unit. For better comparison, I'd like to give it an English name, front gable house, because there are 2 gables in the front. This type of house has gables all on the side, so I'd like to name it side gable house. Compared with the front gable house, the side gable house has more space in the front. Now you know how I identify the ancestral house of Lee Kuan Yew as the Chaoshan-style house. Quiz: what type of gables are these? The answer is wood. Did you get it right? This is a front gable house. I would call this one a simplified mansion style, with the front hall, the courtyard, the central hall, the side rooms, and then the wing rooms. Actually, this is not a real front hall, it's more like a corridor. When I was in Chaozhou city, I stayed in a hotel that was in a side gable house. Unlike the front gable house, the side gable house has a real front hall. The courtyard, the back hall. It also has 2 spacious rooms in the front. In a front gable house, the front rooms are tiny. In a side gable house, the corresponding space is a corridor, and inside is a spacious front room. When the door is locked, it's a pretty good private space. With the knowledge of the basic units of Chaoshan houses, let's visit a huge Chaoshan mansion built in the 19th century. This is a house with the most complex layout. It's a combination of different quadrangle units. Chaoshan people gave it a fancy name. 100 birds present themselves before a phoenix. The house actually consists of many small front gable units. I'll take you to walk through this house and we'll see it in detail. Walking through the side alley of the house, we arrive at the living space. Here is the front gable unit. The unit in the center is a variation of front gable unit, and it's just much wider. Compared with the standard front gable unit, it has 2 more rooms at the back, and the courtyard is much bigger. Again, a front gable unit. The unit in the center of this row is a combination of 2 front gable units. This is an alley symmetric to the one we walked through earlier. The back row consists of 7 front gable units. Now let's see the front part of the house, which was public space of the clan. Same as other typical Chinese mansion-style houses, this house has the front hall, central hall, and back hall. The back hall is the ancestral hall. The beam of the back hall has the yin and yang diagram on it. This is common in Chaoshan houses. This house is the king of all Chinese mansion-style houses because it has 3 front central back hall units in it. So far, I haven't found such design outside the Chaoshan area. This house is huge. One can even spring in the side alley of the house. Chaoshan houses usually only have 1 floor, and the rooms are all spread out. Living in the plains, Chaoshan people had enough land to build their houses. They didn't need to stack the rooms up. This is quite different from Hakka houses. In the ancestral village of Li Kuan Yew, there are multi-story Chaoshan houses. The one next to his ancestral house is one of them. It has Chaoshan-style gables, and it has 2 stories. This is the Hakka village. The great-grandfather of Li Kuan Yew was a Hakka. This house in the village is more like a Hakka Tulou instead of Chaoshan house. It does not have the Chaoshan-style gables, but it kind of adopted the side gable layout of Chaoshan house, and it has a Chaoshan-style entrance. Although being a Hakka county, Dabu County historically belonged to Chaozhou prior to 1950. Chaoshan culture has had its influence here. In Dabu County, it's very interesting to observe how Chaoshan houses adapted to the hilly landscape that Hakka people live and how Chaoshan houses and Hakka houses integrated. Let's go back to the previous Chaoshan mansion and continue visiting the neighboring house that was built by the same clan. In this house, there are several side gable units. Here's another one. no gable would be spotted from front. The wing buildings of this house consist of front gable units. In a Chaoshan house, although it's also for a big clan to live together, every family gets its own private courtyard. Of course, this is more convenient, and trust me, it saves a lot of problems. This is another difference between Chaoshan houses and Hakka houses, which are like dorms. Hakka living in the hilly area will face a more hostile environment, let it be beasts in the mountains, bandits, hostile neighboring clans, or mountainous indigenous people. It would be difficult to organize collective defense if clansmen live in their independent units. But as we've seen in some Hakka Tulou, during more peaceful period, Hakka people also installed partition walls in their Tulou to have more privacy. Next, let me take you to another Chaoshan house that dates back 4 centuries. Does it look familiar to you? The house has the layout of a Hakka Weilong house. But if we zoom in, we can see a lot of front gable units inside the house. So it's a Chaoshan-style Weilong house. This is a Chaoshan-style Weilong house. Weilong house is a type of Hakka house that usually has a half-moon pond in the front, an arc or several at the back. Today I'll show you what a Chaoshan-style Weilong house looks like. The first unit in the center is the ancestral hall. The wing buildings and the arc section also consist of front gable units. There's no bulging backyard in this Weilong house because public space is very limited, but pay attention to the ground. It still has the steps and a gentle slope. Why is there a Weilong house here? One might think maybe the clan living inside had Hakka origin. But actually no, the Gable clan living in the house migrated here from Dabu County in south coast of Fujian province. In the Ming Dynasty, the coastal regions in Fujian province were often attacked by pirates. Some, like the Gable clan, migrated to other areas that were less affected by the pirates. Those staying built Tulous and castles to protect themselves. If you are interested, check out the videos I made earlier about the Tulous in Dabu County. The Gable clan actually had Hokkien origin. Then why did they build a Weilong house here? I don't know. Maybe it's an evidence of Hakka influence in this region. The Fengshun County not far away is a Hakka County. Same as Dabu County, it used to belong to Chazhou prior to 1950. It's not surprising there was some exchange between the two cultures here. But generally speaking, the Chaoshan culture bears more resemblance to the Hokkien culture because many Hokkien migrated here during the Song Dynasty to Ming Dynasty. I view the Chaoshan culture as an extension of Hokkien culture. The Chaoshan dialect, houses, folk religions, and many other aspects of Chaoshan culture are very similar to those in South Fujian province. Besides the gables, there are a few other things you can observe when you walk down the ancient roads in Chaozhou. For example, the entrance of Chaoshan houses. It's always a step behind. There are a lot of paintings on the wall. Some of the paintings are created with porcelain. It's another Chaoshan/Hokkien-style technique. On the roof of some of the houses, especially temples, there are sculptures created with porcelain. This one looks like Chaoshan Titanic. Wood carving is common in interior decoration of Chaoshan houses. The best place to appreciate wood carving is in this ancient house in Chazhou City. For more information about Chaozhou, please check out my earlier video about the city. I'd also like to invite you to visit Chaozhou and the adjacent cities and counties. You'll be fascinated by the diversity of Chinese culture. I'm Yan Yan. I make videos about sites of interest in China and histories and stories behind them. Subscribe to my channel. I'll see you next time.